Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now. We're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Plus by viewers and members like you.
Today on Living Grand on Grand Lake, we'll visit a delicious breakfast and lunch spot in Grove. We'll meet the man behind one of Grand Lake's most popular media outlets, and we'll get a bird's eye view of law enforcement activities on Grand. All of these stories plus safety tips from GRDA coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Welcome back to Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm your host, Christy Wallace. Whether you're looking for a fabulous breakfast, a delicious salad, a yummy soup, or a variety of homemade sandwiches, you definitely want to visit Chickanella's in Grove. This eclectic and delicious eatery grew quickly, and the daily crowds of customers required they relocate to a larger location. They're well known for their menu that focuses on creativity and quality.
It is a cake. It's a special cake. It's a real moist cake with a cream cheese frosting and secret ingredients. My wife, her and her friends back in the day, girls, it's kind of a little nickname they use for each other and such. It's a girl thing.
I heard the term years and years ago, and it actually means female. And so I had a job in Kansas City working for a construction company, and the guys all used to holler at us and say, "I'll see you hens later," and they called us old clucks. And so one day I remembered the term chickenella, and I said, "Hey, does anyone know what a chickenella is?" And so that kind of stuck. So suddenly it was, when we'd go to lunch, we'd email and say, "Hey girlfriend, or hey chickenella, where are we gonna go?" Or "Meet me in the lunchroom." And so when I decided to come down here and do this, it fit.
Oh, let's see, about 10 years ago, after the kids got raised up, she went into the corporate world and worked for about, 5-6 years, I'd say. And she got kind of pretty tired of that. And we'd always been coming to Grove since the 80s. Come down here, I fished a lot of bass tournaments down here, and we rented cabins down here, and in '06 we went ahead and bought a place. And then, like I say, 5 years ago she come down here and started Chickenella's, just like a little downtown there on Main Street, just a little old Corey Hotel is what it was, and just kind of like a little test thing, just to see how we do, and took off, and 2 years later we moved over here.
We started out so small when we were downtown, and I got this gathering of people who learned about us, and I knew that they would be loyal when we moved. We outgrew that place really quick, and we needed to find a place, and I was actually very scared to do it. I thought, oh gosh, I just don't know how this is going to work, and it's been great.
Well, honestly, when we were first married, I did most of the cooking, and then she just, I wasn't that good at it, so she figured out she's gonna have to learn how to cook. And that's what she did. She just dove into it, and between my grandma and Aunt Kay and recipes and phone calls, and We just, and then that's what cooking is, though. If you like it, you just mess up a lot of stuff and you just keep getting it better.
He did know how to cook. I did not know how to cook very well. Came from a very large family and grew up on eating, whatever you could feed 8 kids. And so my mom wasn't the best cook. But after we got married, his mom, his grandparents, sisters, all fabulous cooks. And so I just decided I better learn. Well, a lot of our recipes are from family meals. We're known for our pancakes here in the morning. They're made from scratch, and that recipe comes from his sister. The pie crust that we use to make our quiche comes from his grandmother.
Our chicken salad is probably what really got her going, and the hummingbird cake.
I work harder than I've ever worked in my life, but it's great. I love it. I get to talk all day. Our customers have become our family. If we get to know them, we know their names, we know what they eat, we know what they drink. If we don't see them, we're calling to check on them and see if they're okay. So it's really been a neat thing. People in Grove are amazing. I mean, they're friendly, they're happy all the time. I think that's one of the greatest things about doing this. People say, oh, you must love to cook. I don't really love to cook, but I love to feed people, and people are happy when they eat.
I can personally recommend some of my favorites from Chickenella's: the apple pecan chicken salad, the pancakes, the BLTA, and of course, their fabulous desserts. Check them out on Facebook and plan a visit soon. Stay tuned. We have a Grand Lake legend coming up next on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Swartz, and this is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now, and we're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hard-working people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Today I want to talk about the importance of knowing our waters and safely navigating the lakes. One of the first things we need is the proper depth finder on our boat. By using the depth finder, we can find when the water is going to get shallow or become hazardous and navigate around those. The next thing we need to do is to buy the proper maps for the lake that we're on or the waterways that we're using. Here's an example of the Grand Chart Book. It shows a lot of history of the lake, the hazardous areas, and many things that we can learn about the waterways that we're on. Another example, this one's designed for fishing and it shows the contours, but yet shows the hazards and many things about the lake that we can use. Another tip is using locators such as Lowrance or Hummingbird, Garmin, some of the locators that are out there that actually have GPS and can navigate the waters for us, show us safe ways to navigate the lake. All these things can be found at your local convenience stores, sporting goods stores, and even Walmart. So learn our lakes and be safe.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino. And now, time for the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Head on over to the South Grand Lake Regional Airport for the Warbirds. Warbirds will be available for public viewing from 3 to 7 p.m. on July 3rd, prior to the Duck Creek flyover and fireworks show. Entry's just a $5 donation per car, but there will be a drawing for a cash prize. Food, water, and beverages will be available too, as well as fun stuff for kids and the whole family. Speaking of fireworks, following that evening will be the Duck Creek Fireworks Show, located at the Arrowhead Yacht Club. Come check out the longest running tradition on Grand Lake the night of July 3rd. Don't miss the largest fireworks show in Oklahoma during this Independence Day celebration. Mark your calendars for the Wolf Creek Nationals drag boat races in Grove, starting on Friday, July 7th through Sunday, July 9th. Qualifying starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday, and racing begins at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Prices for a day pass are $15, and weekend passes are $25. Get pumped for this exciting event. Well, that's it for now from the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page.
If you've spent any time around Grand Lake, chances are pretty good that you know the name Rusty Fleming. As the publisher of Grand Times on Grand Lake, he started writing about Grand Lake and those around it back in 1988. He's written story after story introducing us to notable Grand Lakers. But rarely is the man behind the keyboard the topic of a story. We're excited to put the spotlight on one of Grand Lake's biggest cheerleaders and provide a rare glimpse into the life of Rusty Fleming, a true Grand Lake legend.
We're driving the entire the entire economy with our lust for Grand Lake. So it happens over and over again, and if you ask people normally how they became exposed to Grand Lake, it was either they stayed with a friend, and in the old days, it was Shangri-La. And now it's going to be Shangri-La again, because there will be meetings and various different functions that take place there that expose people to Grand Lake that would never have been exposed otherwise. We publish Grand Times on Grand Lake newspaper here on Grand Lake. It's over the years, was established in 1988, has been known under 3 names. Originally as the Grand River Chronicle, and later as the Chronicle of Grand Lake, and now as Grand Times on Grand Lake. Our paper is distributed, you just follow the shoreline of Grand Lake. I mean, from Grove to Afton to even Bonita and that kind of thing. And then we also have a distribution service in Tulsa. We have 54 drop locations there. Most of those are at Reser's and the Quick Trips. So a Laker that can't get their hands on the thing can, you know, go by and get one there, or always find us online. And the entire publication is, you know, uploaded online, page by page edition, just like if you were, you know, holding it in your hand. So that's a plus for our real estate friends and others that are promoting their products, not only here, but in the Tulsa metro area. Our original mission statement focused on, we want to be a good news newspaper, and we want to provide Grand Lake people something to read about other than, you know, the bad news that they see every night and on the local TV news, or what they pick up in the Tulsa World or the Daily Oklahoman or any other publication. So we try to keep it at that. But we always said if there's a parade that needed to be led, that we would do it. So we think that we're focused in on lake issues, and we have a terrific relationship with GRDA. And if things come up that are detrimental or positive as far as that goes for Grand Lakers, well, we feel like it's our job to be the messenger. And just like going through the shoreline management plan here a few years ago and having to deal with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, we took a role in that, and we helped them with the modification of something in designing a plan that we all could kind of live with. And I like to say, when nobody's happy, it was probably a fairly decent plan. I think the most important focal point for all of us is the preservation of Grand Lake. GRDA's done a good job, and in the last 20 years, they've added economic development to their mission statement, and they were very active in our community. They're very active in promoting Grand Lake. Grand Lake has a a way of captivating people. And my wife and I have always kidded about the fact that the positive or negative ions, whatever they are, in the water has a tremendous calming effect upon the body. And as weekenders, we would get here and we could not wait to get on the boat, go out and check out the sunset, and maybe go out for dinner at one of the local restaurants or clubs on the water. And but you know, Grand Lake is I say, you know, we call it a mystique maybe, but what it really boils down to is it's the most lucrative and attractive lake in the state and probably in the Southwest. And the amenities that this lake offers is certainly one of the reasons that it draws the kind of people it does. And I've often said that you can compare it to a huge sorority or fraternity. People, if they are Grand Lakers, if they have an interest in Grand Lake, they immediately have a bond. If I run across you in Tulsa and we're doing a business deal of some sort and I find out you're a Grand Laker, we've got a connection, no doubt.
You can see Rusty's work in print by picking up the Grand Times on Grand Lake next time you're at the lake, or catch up with them on Facebook or visit their website. If you want to learn more about Living Grand on Grand Lake, check us out online where you can watch episodes from all our previous seasons. Visit rsu.tv and click on shows. Stay tuned, we have more coming up next.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Y'all come see us.
Grand Lake's newest destination for great fun is located just off the lake in Grove. At Cherokee Casino Grove, you'll experience exceptional food and outstanding service. Stop in to relax with your favorite drink and root for your team on the big screen. Experience live local music on the 1897 stage every weekend. Cherokee Casino Grove on Highway 59 at East 250 Road. It's the most fun you'll have off the water.
In today's world, data security is critical to your business's success. It's your most valuable business asset. As potential threats increase daily, protecting your data is a priority. Northeast Oklahoma Electric Cooperative has created a solution. Core Data Center is a state-of-the-art storage facility with 24/7 monitoring and multi-layered security. You can trust Core Data Center to protect your data so you can keep your business operating no matter what. Visit our website or call 918-256-9470. Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
There are lots of activities that take place at the Grove Airport. We recently met 2 Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers who call a helicopter their office and Grove Airport their home base. Troopers Eddie Rose and Hank Jinks are 2 of 6 troopers who cover the whole state of Oklahoma from the Grove Airport. They focus on officer protection and support, manhunts, lost persons, and more.
Just recently, we was up there on the manhunt that was up there by Wyandotte, where the guy jumped in the lake and swam over to the island. And I mean, that was a pretty dramatic, I mean, it was almost like a scene from The Fugitive. Like all positions in the state of Oklahoma, Highway Patrol, everybody starts out as what we call a road trooper. So the everyday trooper that you see on the side of the road, working traffic, responding to calls, everyone starts out in that position. And then as you get time on and experience, you get opportunities to transfer to different what we call specialty divisions in the Highway Patrol, and Aircraft Division is one of those divisions.
I immediately wanted to get into the Aircraft Division, and then honestly, my first night in the Aircraft Division was probably one of the I don't know if it had become almost surreal, but at the same time, you know, the position of a road trooper is a great position. You know, I'm at home. I knew I would be home. You know, you work long hours, but you get to go home every night. And in the aircraft division, there's 6 of us, 6 troopers in the state that handle the entire state. And so, my first night in the aircraft division, it was almost, I was a little, I think, scared that what I'd got myself into, because I did like my job so well as a road trooper.
So in the Highway Patrol, we are the state's only uniformed agency that covers every county in the state. And as our aircraft division, we are not only the Highway Patrol's aircraft division, but we're everybody who doesn't have their own air unit, we're their aircraft unit. The Grove Police Department, we're their aircraft division. If they need help of any kind, whether it's a missing person, a manhunt, a missing Alzheimer's patient, we're their aircraft unit that they're gonna call, or a sheriff's department, or, you know, other than Tulsa PD, Oklahoma City PD, and then the GRDA has their own helicopter division. Other than that, we're everybody else's helicopter unit on top of being the Highway Patrol's aircraft unit.
Our mission has always been to support not only the citizens, but to be a big support for our road troopers, and to make sure that they have, you know, we're reactive. We're not, we cover an entire state, and there's very few of us, and so it's not as if we, like maybe Tulsa or Oklahoma City, they may respond to immediately, can be at a pursuit or responding to a pursuit. We're more statewide, and so anytime there's a manhunt or a search and rescue or a missing person that involves an extended effort, we're the ones that get the call.
Well, from my perspective, I feel like that I'm really being a huge help, not only to the citizens, but I feel like I'm watching the back of the officers that are on the ground. I can see, you know, in front of them, behind them, I can see what kind of, if they're walking into a dangerous situation, they don't know it. Being up there, we can see what's going on and relay that information to them. And not only we're protecting the citizens and helping them, but I feel like that we're helping our brother officers at the same time. So we're based at the Grove Regional Airport at Grand Lake for a couple of different reasons. And, you know, one of those reasons is within 25 miles of I-44, what they call the I-44 corridor that runs through the state, 75% of the state's population lives within that 25-mile-an-hour corridor of I-44. So we're kind of within that corridor being here. And then another reason that it makes really good sense up there in the summertime, as we all know, Grand Lake area becomes the 3rd most populated area in the state. So, you know, you put all those things together and it just makes good sense to have us here. Well, we're a very small division. To cover the entire state, we've got 6 pilots and then 2 a supervisor and the captain. So it's a small unit for an entire state. So we stay there's almost hardly a day that we don't fly in some capacity of one kind or another, because we are so small. It just makes us so busy. And we're on call, we work our 8-hour shifts, and then we're on call 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And sometimes even on our days off, we're on call because of we're being so small. But it's a job that we all love to do and are happy to do it.
To me, it's kind of like I said before, it's a dream come true. Not only do I get to be a police officer, which I think I've been involved in state law enforcement now for about 25 years. But you add that to being able to fly, it's like the best of both worlds to me. It's a dream come true.
I feel a little safer knowing these troopers are soaring in the sky. You know, I think I could handle having a helicopter as my mobile office. It gives a whole new meaning to an office with a view. Well, that's it for this edition of Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm your host, Christy Wallace. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake. is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now. We're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Also by
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
And by viewers and members like you